just as we've discussed about diffusion, we have another terminology called osmosis under cell and its environment. Now, what is osmosis? Unlike diffusion, it is defined as the process by which water molecule or ions move from the region of lower concentration to a region of higher concentration. It's an opposite of that of diffusion when you look at the definition very well. So osmosis is defined as the process whereby water molecule move from the region of lower concentration to the region of higher concentration through semi-permeable membrane. Now I have some instance of this osmosis. For example, if you put bread inside a bowl and put water inside, now open that bread very well, put sugar, a cube of sugar inside the bread, and allow two of them to settle inside the water, you will see that the water that is touching that bread from the bowl will get into that of sugar that is inside. That is what we call osmosis, from the region of lower concentration to a region of higher concentration. That is osmosis for you. Now we have the condition necessary for this osmosis to take place. Condition necessary for osmosis to take place. Number one condition necessary for osmosis to take place, we have what we call lower region, what we call weak solution. We must have number one condition or conditions necessary for osmosis to take place. Condition necessary for osmosis to take place. Now, when I talk about these conditions, I mean the factors that necessitate the occurrence of osmosis. What are the things that must be present before osmosis will take place? Now, we have number one factor or number one condition. One, there must be selective permeable membrane, which is the opening through which the water will get into the bread and get into the sugar that is inside the bread, just as I explained. Now we also must have number two condition, there must be weaker solution. There must be a weaker solution. What is this weaker solution? The weaker solution now become the bread. The weaker solution become the bread because it's through that bread that the water gets into before it touches that of sugar. Two, there must be a stronger solution. Weaker solution. There must be a stronger solution too, and the stronger solution now become that of the sugar that is inside, which the water gets into. These are the conditions necessary for osmosis to take place. So remember, as I said before, osmosis is the process, or is defined as the process by which water molecule move from the region of lower concentration to the region of higher concentration through selective semi-permeable membrane. You can put it that way. So now we have many ways you can define it, but make sure that in your definition you put semi-permeable membrane. This is the terminology there. So without that semi-permeable membrane, you are getting the definition wrong. Now with condition, as we have these three conditions that must be present for osmosis to take place, just as we have them, we also have importance of osmosis. What are the importance of this osmosis? Osmosis is very, very important because it helps in getting rid of waste products in the body system. It helps in removing of all those waste products in the body, thereby in creating more chance for body to accumulate more nutrients or other important material in the body system. So as we have it, we'll quickly look into the difference between diffusion and this osmosis. Let's see the importance of the difference between diffusion and osmosis. The difference between two of them, just as we have the diffusion and we have osmosis, let's see if there is any difference between diffusion and osmosis. And there must be. And what are these differences? Number one, we have diffusion. We have diffusion, we have osmosis. I don't know, through the explanation, any of you that can tell me the difference between diffusion and osmosis, following our explanation or my explanation so far. Now with that, you see that there are differences between diffusion and osmosis. Number one difference is that one, diffusion occurs in both plant and animal. Diffusion, it occurs in both plants and animals. It occurs in both plant and animals. Why osmosis occurs in plants. It occurs in plants. Number two different, this is number one. Number two different is that diffusion, it does not require semi-permeable membrane. Semi-permeable membrane. Why osmosis requires semi-permeable membrane. Semi-permeable membrane. Now another difference that you are going to see there, which is number 3, is this. In diffusion, it occurs in gas. It occurs in gas. That is why we use that of ammonia gas as one of the example, or use perfume as one of the example of diffusion. But you don't use it like that in osmosis. Why osmosis occurs only in liquid? It occurs only in liquid. It occurs in liquid. So that is why I said in my definition that osmosis is the process, or is defined as the process whereby water molecule move from the region of lower concentration to the region of higher concentration through selective or differential semi-permeable membrane. So with that, you find out that these are the difference between diffusion and osmosis. Diffusion, as we say, it occurs in both man, plant and what? Animal. Why that of osmosis does not occur in both plant and animal? It only occurs in plant. Now we have, it does not require semi-permeable membrane, which we do not state it during the definition. Now quickly, let us look another terminology that you can see in this cell and heat environment. Cell and heat environment. Now another thing you are going to see there is what we call plasmolysis. It's what we call what? Plasmolysis. Thank you. So plasmolysis, as another terminology, I don't know how many of you can tell me the meaning, or have you people heard about plasmolysis? Okay, plasmolysis as one of the cell and heat environment, it can be defined as the process whereby there is an outward movement of water from the living cell an outward movement of water, from the living cell to other part of the environment of the cells. So, and this as a result of a shrinking of the cells. When the water keep on coming out from the cell, it will get to an extent that it will shrink. When the cell shrinks, making the cytoplasm to come close to that of the cell wall of a plant. Like when you get to a plant, just like what we do when we learned about cells, plant cells and animal cells. You have something of this nature as plant cells. You're also going to see the cell wall. You see another structure here. Here becomes the cytoplasm, where here becomes the cell wall. Now you find out that when plasmolysis want to take place, it will get this to shrink. The pulling of that water and the shrinking of the cell wall, just as we say. Now the cell wall and the cytoplasm, which is this center, we pull together. Why? Because there is a loss of water from there. That is why we say that plasmolysis is the process whereby there is outward movement or withdrawal of water from the cells of that particular plant. We also have another one which we call hemolysis. Hemolysis. And what is this hemolysis? Hemolysis, as another terminology on cell and its environment. It's another terminology on cell and its environment. And what is hemolysis? Hemolysis is the process whereby there is excess of water in the cells and it leads to the bursting of the cell wall due to excess of water that has been flowing in of that particular cell. So hemolysis is just like opposite of that of plasmolysis. Why this one is a withdrawal of water, why hemolysis is water getting into the cells to the extent that it leads to the bursting of cell. Now hemolysis occur as a result of excess of what? Water in the cell. So that is just, but we have the similarity between hemolysis and the plasmolysis. We have similarity. What are the similarity that we have? Number one, similarity between plasmolysis and hemolysis. One of the similarity is this: both of them occurs in living cell. Both of them occur in living cells. Both of them occur in living cell. Number two, at the initial stage, both plasmolysis and hemolysis, both of them expand the cells. Both expand the cells. They cause the expansion of the cells. Number three, both of them can lead, both hemolysis and plasmolysis can lead both plasmolysis and hemolysis can lead to the deaths of the cells involved. So these are the similarity between plasmolysis and hemolysis. Just as we discussed by the definition so far, We say plasmolysis is the withdrawal of water or the outward movement of water from a living cell, therefore causing the cytoplasm and the cell wall to shrink. That is when excess of water is getting out from that of the living cell of a plant. Now, why that of hemolysis is when excess water gets into the cells, the red blood cell, to the extent that the red blood cell is being fully charged with water and get burst. That is what we call hemolysis. When you get book, you see more definition. I don't give you cramming, but I give you the real detailed explanation of what is hemolysis and plasmolysis. Now these are their similarity, what two of them can do together. Both of them, that is in plasmolysis and hemolysis, occur in living cell. Just like as this plasmolysis occur in plant and this occur in animal. All of them are the living cell. So that is number one similarity. Number two, at the initial stage, as water enter or since there is water in that cell, it can lead to the expansion of the cell, either the cell of the plant or the cell of the animal. That is another similarity. Now another one, the third one, is that both of them, both the plasmolysis and hemolysis, can lead to the death of cells involved, either that of the plant cells or that of the animal cells. So it can lead, two of them can lead to the death of that cell. Now, how does it lead to the death of the cell? When there is excess of movement of water from the cell, it can cause the cell to, it can cause the plant or the cell of that particular plant to do what? To die, in terms of plasmolysis. And when you talk about animal, the red blood cell, so when there is an inflow of water into the red blood cell, to the extent that the red blood cell is fully charged and get burst, so this can lead to the death of the cell if there is no any maintenance that take place. These are the similarity between them. We can also see the difference between plasmolysis and hemolysis. The difference between plasmolysis and hemolysis.